All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas.
All right, race fans, let's try this number 2. This is TurnLeftTV, and we're in California today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Heath Johnson, your broadcaster, your commentator, and the guy who is about ready to flip out right now. This stream doesn't work out right. This is California Speedway tonight, and we've got race number 2 in the Saturday Showdown series. Should be a good one here today. Hopefully, if we get a good sound connection here, it looks like we've been having some issues with some stuttering. So let's hopefully they'll reset the stream, and hopefully we are back in action. Fingers crossed. Here we go. The Saturday Showdown series in action for race number 2 today. And this is California. All right, hey, thank you so much for coming in here to TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you being here, and I think we've still got some issues here. So it looks like this isn't going to clear up for me. Well, we'll see how it goes here. We'll keep our fingers crossed on this. We're definitely having some hitching going on here, so it looks like we've got that cleared up, and we're back at it. And appreciate you being here and being patient with us tonight. Trying to get things worked out. Hopefully you're seeing the live stream. I believe we are back up and running. So, again, thanks for joining us here and being patient. But you know how it goes, man, with streaming and the internet and everything else. So, hopefully we've got everything working well here. Going to take a little bit of time here to get things set up. So, not your normal pre-race show, that's for sure. Again, I appreciate you being patient with us. This is the Saturday Showdown series. We're in High Octane Racing League. Again, thanks for joining us. This is California Speedway. A little 2-miler. Great track here tonight. Like we've got about 6 minutes left in the warm-up session, so a little bit of a shortened pre-race show. I'm sure you guys don't mind that because I talk a lot. And yeah. Like things have sort of cleared up for us. So it might have been one of the drivers in one of the skins they were trying to upload. Don't forget, tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server, Check out EliteHostingUSA.com. 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from, and then also WordPress hosting and online store hosting from EliteHostingUSA.com. And that is providing our servers here tonight. Whoa, Nelly, where are those at? Wheel of Fun? No, that didn't it. HighOctaneRacing.net. Uh-oh. Got to refresh that website. Refresh it. Uh-oh, there you go. Not a very good advertisement for HORL.net. Looks like our website's down. Take a look at the point standings here in the Showdown series coming into tonight's race. Just one race under our belts, and Ricardo Almeida with a big win last week at Daytona is on top there. Claudio Bardelli Jr. second, Stanislav Pavlov third, Sean Jacobs fourth, Dennis Udichin is fifth, Paul Brown sixth, Ivan Igorov is seventh, Gary Madu eighth, Dennis Lasenko ninth, and Alexander Meshkov is 10th in points coming into tonight's race. Thanks for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. Peace to everybody out there, and thanks for being patient with us here tonight. Appreciate that. Please hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you were here, and don't forget to share my videos with all your friends on any social media platform. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and you'll get updates when videos are going live.
Soul.
So it looks like we're back up and running. Again, appreciate you being here, and thanks for the patience tonight. So here we are back to hitching. It looks like one of the drivers there trying to join is what's causing the issue. Looks like we're going to restart warm up here and give some guys a chance to figure out what's going on with their deal. They're, the educated guess is there may be some DDoS attacks that are going on right now across the United States, given the situation in the world, and that could cause some problems with some servers. We're hoping that's not the case, but that is at least a possibility there, and just give you an idea of those things we can't control, obviously. So we're going to do what we do and hope for the best. We're definitely seeing some strange things going on right now with the internet. But hey, thanks for slugging it out with us here, and I appreciate that. We got a little bit of a challenge here tonight we got to overcome, but keys to the race here tonight at California. Tires, man. This thing is tough on tires, so you're going to have to conserve those, but also got to have good pit stops. We're going to have some green flag pit stops. I am pretty sure of that. Then don't forget about that 2-wide discipline, man. You're going to be racing side by side with some guys for a while, and you're going to have to maintain some patience there. And know when to go, man. Really, because it's tough on tires, you're going to have to conserve, but also know when to start pushing this car. And then don't forget, you got to use the draft here in California to do anything. So those are my keys to the race here tonight at California. And again, thanks for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you were here. Got about 4 minutes left to go before we're going to go live with this race. We're in the warm-up session right now. Kind of rehashing here. We had to restart the stream, so we're kind of getting the information back out there for folks. I think this is going to be a good race here tonight, man. California is always a fun track. Again, sorry, I've been a little bit preoccupied here with a little bit of this stuff. So, California, always a fun track. Right now, showing 15 drivers. I think we're going to have a few more here. We got a couple guys here who have joined a little bit late. Take a look at the track here at California. A 2-mile race, race number 4 of the race number 2 of the season, 2-mile track located in Fontana, California. 14 degrees of banking. Front stretch, 11 degrees of banking. Down the back stretch at 3 degrees of banking. Right, I think we got just a couple minutes left here. All right, boys and girls, I think we're about ready to get this party started here. Again, thanks for your patience. We got 16 drivers here in with us. It's California here tonight. This is going to be a fun one, man. Cali always is a fun one.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, singer, songwriter, megastar, and Ford truck man, Toby Keith.
It's time to get in, sit down, shut up, hold on, drivers, start your engines!
All righty, here we go. The starting order here tonight. Arctic starts in P1. Ricardo Almeida, last week's winner, starts in the second position. Stanislav Pavlov starts third. Claudio Vardelli Jr. starts in the fourth position. Starting in fifth will be Paul Brown. Sean Jacobs will start in the sixth position. Eugene Zaglotko starts seventh. And Leon Ganari starts in the eighth position. Starting in ninth tonight is Johan Tavares. Paulo Guave starts in 10th. Alexander Meshkov, 11th. Tony Furtado, 12th. Sorry to Paulo there. First time I've had that name. John Stanley starts in the 13th position. Danilo Coelho starts in 14th. Chivaldo Spindola starts 15th. Kent Thomas starts in the 16th position. A little bit of a different pre-race show there. I apologize for that. We've had some internet connection deals. There's some funkiness going on with the internet here today. Not surprising given the challenges going on in the world. So I think we're ready to rock and roll. And again, this is California tonight. And we are looking at a 100-lap race. Little 2-mile, great track. Doesn't actually exist anymore, but we love this track, man. And, it is a lot of fun. Again, thanks for coming in here and being patient with us. And we'll hopefully we got things worked out for you. So the 117, Archer Vieira will lead the field to take the green flag. Here we go. Cali. Ricardo made up on the outside line here. Hopefully everybody behaves themselves. Claudio Bardelli Jr. tuck it in. So a good start here, good clean start. Down the backstretch, Archer Vieira fighting with Ricardo Almeida. Almeida on the outside line. Almeida there using a little muscle there to get around. Artuviera. A lot of room to race here, but I'll tell you what, man, things get pretty tight in a hurry. Look at this, it's 62. And the 117 there battling together. 62 of Stanislav Pavlov now takes over the second position. Artuviera now back to third. Take a look at Paul Brown. He is running in the fifth position right now in that 41 car. Oh, we got some contact right there. Zaglotko hanging on to that thing. There was contact. Zaglotko hanging on to that thing. My heavens, that thing was sideways. Zaglotko and looks like Tony Furtado there might have gotten together too. So Zaglotko trying to hang on to this thing. That thing was absolutely wrecked. Zaglotko going to the outside. Tony Furtado down on the inside line. Zaglotko trying to bounce back here. There was some shenanigans. Zaglotko got sideways.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
We got a yellow flag here. Yellow flag. So we saw a little bit of that earlier, what led up to that, and I think it was just a domino effect. Zaglotko, I think he got slammed pretty hard there, it looked like. Right here, we'll take a look at Zaglotko. He's down on the inside, and this is a little bit earlier. He goes up to the high side here, and everything seems okay right there. So Zaglotko in the 33 car, this is a little bit earlier. Zaglotko down on the are now trying to get back down to the inside, and this still Zaglotko getting a run here on the 32. Down on the inside, and Zaglotko climbing up the track. That gets into 32, and that contact there really leads to more contact, and we'll take a look at the replay. Take a look here as they were 3 wide, and it looked like Givaldo had gone in and made that 3 wide down on the inside, but a lot of room here. And then Zaglotko takes a left here and gets into the 5 car and spins him. All right, looks like some tempers flaring a little bit here early on. Guys getting after it there a little bit too much, I think, early on here.
Pit road will be open this time for lead lap cars.
Ricardo Almeida is our leader. Stanislav Pavlov is in second. Artuviera third. Claudio Bardelli Jr. fourth. Paul Brown is in fifth. A little bit later, man, we'll be back at it with the High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder. California Speedway, 110 laps there. It's race number 4 of the season. And a great Cup series, man. Really have a lot of fun this series. And I'll be out on the track swapping some paint with the boys. And it's California, 110 laps coming up tonight in the Saturday Night Thunder. Don't forget to check out on YouTube our race last night. A special event there to honor Lauren Stopworth. And it was a great one. The Bushwhacker Series, of course, next week will be at Vegas for a great race. And we'll take a look at the the Busted Knuckles 125. That is on YouTube for you. Check out. That was a great race last night to honor Lauren Stopworth. So you definitely want to check that out.
Pit road will be open this time.
So Ricardo Almeida, the leader. Stanislav Pavlov is second. Paul Brown third. Leon Canari is fourth. Sean Jacobs is in the fifth position. Paulo Guave, I believe is how you spell that name. Gove. Somebody help me out on that. He's one of our new drivers there. He's in the sixth position. Johan Tavares is seventh. Eugene Zaglatko and John Stanley. Actually, looks like Zaglatko has come down pit lane. Zaglatko on pit lane. Looks like the 33. Well, Zaglatko is doing the drive-through here with the 2 to go. Hopefully going to go green one more time by, I believe. We'll end up going green. Take a look at the schedule here in the Showdown series. Of course, next week we'll be at Phoenix, and that'll be at Vegas. That'll be a fun race on March the 5th. A lot of great racing happens at Vegas. 100-lap race there for race number 3 of the season, and that's coming up next week. And it'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. So first caution flag here early on. Guys, just got to be a little bit more patient here. This is a track where you can go 3 wide really easily. And it does require that you exercise some patience here and hold your line. I mean, if you start, kind of moving up and down, you're going to get into somebody. You see Ricardo Almeida has taken the inside line here on this restart. 62, Stanislav Pavlov starts on the outside line. Paul Brown will start third. Leon Canari starts in the 4th position. John Jacobs will start 5th. And Paulo Gove, we're going to do it, Gove, starts in the 6th position. You have to have some patience here at this track. So a lot of room to race here, a lot of grooves, and you got to hold your line. Now, that's a really important thing about California. Start, trying to switch lanes here and don't realize you got cars below you, maybe cars above you. Things can get wild in a hurry. Here we are on lap 8, our caution flag. A great race last night, man. 2 caution flags, but a really clean race and an exciting finish too. And what a great race to honor Lauren Stopworth, that Busted Knuckles 125 regular season Bushwhacker Series race at Phoenix. Gave away some prizes as well. That was exciting. Here we go, getting ready to go back green as Ricardo Almeida will lead the field to take the green flag. All right, back to green. They're already 3 wide here again. Got to be careful. No 3 wide. Somebody on the apron here already. Gadari, I believe, on the apron. It looks like Johan Tavares is down on that low line. Take a look at Claudio Bardelli Jr. That 57 car running in the 12th position. Things getting a little chippy here. Lot of time here. No reason to get crazy right now. Look at this. Eugene Zagladko now below Alexander Meshkov. Meshkov in that Subway sponsor machine drifting to the high line, giving him some room. Meshkov's doing a lot of laps here, man. He knows, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, man. He knows how to race with great racing etiquette. That's why you see him, he doesn't get a lot of situations. Coming off the turn here as we got Artie Vieira and Leon Ganari here battling it out down the backstretch. 117 of Artie Vieira now picking up the 6th position. Leon Ganari now dropping back to the 7th spot. Johan Tavares and Danilo Coelho here battling it out. Johan in the 36 car on the inside line. Picking up a spot. Tavares now up to the 11th position. Artie Vieira here racing Paulo Gouveia. Side by side here down the backstretch, the 5 car Gouveia up on the outside line is 117. Artie Vieira down to the inside line is going to pick up that spot. Now Artie Vieira up to the 5th position. He might try to get another one here as he's on the high side here of Sean Jacobs at the 24. Good battle here down the front stretch is Artie Vieira using that high line. Sean Jacobs in the 24 down on the bottom line here. Good side-by-side racing out of those guys. It looks like Artie Vieira on the move, now up to P4. Our leader is Ricardo Almeida. Stanislav Pavlov in the 62 is in 2nd. Paul Brown in the 41 is in the 3rd position. Those guys sort of broken away from everybody else. Everybody else are getting a little racy. Look at Leon Gadari in the 32 car, running behind the 5 of Paulo Gouveia. 32 down to the inside line. Good side-by-side here. That Mustang on the move, and he picks up a spot. Leon now up to the 6th position. Gouveia. I'm getting some help on the names there from JJ. I appreciate that. 22 of Ricardo Almeida. So it's Gouveia. There we go. Gouveia. Got it. Almeida there, the leader. Pavlov is 2nd. Brown 3rd. Vieira is in 4th. Bardelli Jr. battling Paulo Gouveia. Side by side here as Bardelli Jr. in the 57 car. Gonna make some moves and pick up a spot, and he's going to get the 7th position. Gouveia now falling back to the 8th spot. John Stanley in the 12 car. On board here with him as he follows Paulo Gova. Stanislav Pavlov in the 62 car drifting up. Oh, and he's getting into the wall right there. Comes across the track. Oh my heavens, man, that car drifted up and he got into the wall. And I'll tell you what, Paul Brown did a great job of missing him. Take a look and see that. From Paul Brown's perspective, Paul Brown, look at that, man, does a great job, but he just stays in the throttle there and misses Stanislav Pavlov. You can watch this as Pavlov drifts up the track, gets into the wall right there, and then comes across the track in front of the 41 car. Wow. Paul Brown, look at this. Watch this out of the front of his machine. He's going to see a whole lot of that 62 car zipping by. And 62 does a great job of hanging on to that thing. Well, Almeida out of the fray there. He says, hey, you guys go ahead and race that out and fight it out. I'm going to pull away. But Paul Brown is starting to close in on the 22. So we're starting to get a little bit of a race here for the race lead as 41, Paul Brown now half a second back in the second position. John Stanley battling Paulo Gouveia. The 12 car and the 5 battling it out. The 12 of John Stanley using the outside line. Good battle there as he picks up that spot. Leon Ganare, he's trying to make a move here. Now 32 battling the 24 of Sean Jacobs. Claudio Bardelli Jr. also in this mix. Looking out of the back of Leon Ganare's machine. Look at that, man. That is tight racing right there. As a 57. We got a yellow flag here. We have a yellow flag. Looks like Bardelli Jr. off the pace, so he was involved in that. The yellow flag here, and we'll have to see what happened. Take a look and see what happened. As Ganare comes down, it gets into Claudio right there. And the 32 comes down and gets into the 57 car. And those guys all checking up. Take a look at this again. Watch that 32. It comes down the track right here. Right here, it comes down and gets into 57. Of course, looks like 57 might have gotten into the back of him too. Again, we'll take a look at this again. See, right here, there's a little bit of contact right there. And then more. He tries to squeeze in. So some shenanigans there.
open this time for lead lap cars.
All right, so we're getting some pit stops here. Sorry, there we had a little conversation going on. Little pit stops going on right now. And Bardelli Jr., the leader, Vieta on pit lane. So all the rest of these guys on pit lane. So Bardelli Jr. trying to get those bonus points, I think, for leading some laps. I have a feeling he's going to get that car up front here before the night is over, that's for sure. Always does. Bardelli Jr., one of the best drivers out there. Leon Ganari in second, Stanley third, Gouveia is fourth, Almeida's fifth, Paul Brown, Kit Thomas, Artie Vieira, Stanislav Pavlov, and Sean Jacobs rounding out the top 10. The Bushwhackers will be back in action next week, Friday, March the 4th, for race number 7 of the season, a 100-lap race from Vegas. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss it. Vegas is always a fun track. And TurnLeftTV will be live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, March the 4th. We are getting some guys coming down pit lane, and Ricardo Almeida will reassume the lead in that 22 car. Paul Brown in second. Yet a third. Stanislav Pavlov is in the fourth position. Again, thank you so much for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Always appreciate those folks coming out and watching the races here and supporting TurnLeftTV. Don't forget to share the videos with all of your friends. Hit the thumbs up button. And don't forget to go down to the description of this race and help me out here at TurnLeftTV by clicking on those links and going over to the Fanatec website. If you're interested in purchasing stuff through them, please use my link here at TurnLeftTV, and I would appreciate that. But really, just appreciate you being here to watch races and joining in the chat session. We got JJ in here joining in, having a little conversation with Will D, who's adminning the race today. And always appreciate those folks coming in and watching the races and participating in the chat sessions as well. And again, thanks for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. Okay, Ricardo Almeida, let's see what lane choice he takes this time.
It'll be one to go this time, bud.
Now, we're going to go green. It looks like Almeida is on the inside line. That puts Paul Brown up on the outside line. Arthur Vieira starts in the third position down on the inside line in the 117 car. Stanislav Pavlov in his 62 starts in fourth. So this is going to be a good restart here, hopefully. Approaching lap 25. Quarter of the way through. It's got a couple caution flags here. We will get this thing worked out. Here we go. Pace car is off. Back to green. Good side by side. Ricardo Almeida looking to try to make it 2 in a row. Down with the inside there as Paul Brown working that outside. Getting a good run. A little side traffic going on. Coming off the turn. Paul Brown using Stanislav Pavlov in the 62. 62 bails on him and goes down to the inside. He wants a little taste of this race lead. Good battle there. The 41 and the 62 battling. Ricardo Almeida now back to the third position, looking out of the front of his machine at that battle between Stanislav Pavlov and Paul Brown. They cross the start-finish line, entering turn one. Pavlov on the inside line, Paul Brown on the outside line. Look at this, Almeida diving down to the inside. Is he going to use Pavlov? Again, good side-by-side racing there. It was Pavlov and Brown. Almeida in the... we got some more issues here. Bardelli Jr. looks like he had come off the wall and he got into Zaglatko, it looked like. Zaglatko off the pace. And something happened to him. There was contact there. Take a look here. Is right here. It looks like Bardelli just comes down and slams into the side of the 33. Zaglatko doing a great job of holding on to that thing. He comes up the track, making a little contact with the wall, but something happened here. So watch the 57, Claudio Bardelli Jr. I don't know whether he looked like he's just switching right here, and he's trying to maybe get around the 36, who was trying to close in on him, and he gets down into the 33. Drives him off the track, and the 33 does a good job of holding on to his temper there. A little bit of reason, I think, to be upset on that one. We are back up front as the 22 of Almeida now back to the lead. The 41, Paul Brown, the inside. Stanislav Pavlov on the outside line. Out of the back of Ricardo Almeida's machine. You see Arthur Vieira now up here in this mix, that 117 car. Pavlov in the 62. Pavlov in the 62 is in the second position. Paul Brown back to fourth as Arthur Vieira takes over the third spot. How about Sean Jacobs running in P5? He's having a pretty good night here. John Stanley back here in a little bit of a hornet's nest. Just in front of him, Kent Thomas in a 35 car. Paulo Gouveia is in that 5 car just ahead. He is running in the 13th position. It's the 35 going down to the bottom line. Good battle there between Kent Thomas and Paulo Gouveia. Alexander Meshkov up on the outside line here has got a good battle here between Alexander Meshkov, Danilo Coelho, 57 of Claudio Bardelli Jr. Meshkov on the outside. He's going to use this outside line to get a good run here off the turn. He's going to tighten up in a hurry, man. He gets squeezed into the wall. If you're not watching, not careful. 57 on the inside, and it's tightening up right there. 77 into 57. Neshkoff going to the high line. Back it off here a little bit. Smartly. As Coelho goes by. Things tightening up. Valdo Spindola in the 63 car. 36. Oh, there's contact as Spindola goes up the track and makes contact with the 36 car. Off the pace there a little bit. These guys are trying to get by on the inside. As there was contact here on board here with Valdo Spindola looking out of the top of his car. This thing is tight now. These guys shaking it up here a little bit. Mixing it up. There was contact. Spindola is trying to figure out where he wants to go. Gouveia in the 5 car just ahead. Picks up a spot there on the 35. Kent Thomas now back to the 13th position. These guys racing like it's the last lap. What I say at the pre-race show, patience, man. Ricardo Almeida in the 22. One of our IndyCar specialists out here mixing it up in the stock cars. Stanislav Pavlov in second. Artevieta is in third. Paul Brown in the 4th position. This track here is if you save tires, you're going to be really good late in the runs. You use those tires up, you're going to be having a handful late in the runs. Almeida continuing to open up a gap here. Got 0.3 of a second on Stanislav Pavlov. Paul Brown back in the 4th position. Tail end of that little train. Sean Jacobs trying to hold on to the back of these guys. He is running in P5. I'll tell you somebody who's making a move, who's starting to move up here a little bit, and that is John Stanley. He's starting to push a little bit now in the top 10. Good patient night here for him, and behind him has got a little bit of a race going on, and that is Johan Tavares and Paulo Gouveia. Good side-by-side racing there. Leon Gennari and Danilo Coelho. Coelho in the 73 car. Gennari in the 32. The 73 holding on to that spot. He is in the 7th position. I'll tell you what, we got a battle here for the 2nd position. Look at this. Artevieta. One of our great Brazilian drivers battling it out with Stanislav Pavlov in the 62. One of our great Russian drivers. And Artevieta picks up that spot. Looked like Paul Brown wanted to try to sneak through, not able to get around Stanislav Pavlov. He's down to the inside, though. And Artevieta, who's he going to do to help out? Look at this, side-by-side here. He's not going to help out anybody. He's going to try to take the race lead. We got a side-by-side battle here for the lead. 4-way battle here up front, and the 117 car using the muscle on the outside. He's going to pick up that spot. Paul Brown and Stanislav Pavlov are side-by-side. 41 on the outside line. The 22 of Ricardo Almeida now dives down to the inside line. It's a good 62-41 battle here. Pavlov is a great stock car driver, man. Been so impressed with the way he drives a stock car, and very impressed with his driving. And Pavlov now back to the 4th position. Paul Brown in 3rd, but a great clean racing right there between Paul Brown and Stanislav Pavlov. And our race leader is the 117 of Artevieta. Look at this. Paul Brown here now vying for the 2nd position. He's down to the inside looking on that 22 car. 22 up on the high line is Paul Brown using this bottom line and getting by. Now taking over P2. Ricardo Almeida now back to the 3rd position. So starting to get a little slick here for these guys. But hang on to this thing. Almeida there starting to push the issue. He wants that spot back. Not going to be able to do it this time by. But he sort of settled down here a little bit. Meshkov back in the 9th position, looking on the back of Leon Ganari. Meshkov in that Subway sponsor number 77 car, having a good top 10 run here tonight. Good to see Alexander out, and always appreciate Alexander participating in our leagues. He does a great job running his league there in the Russian rFactor 2 league, which I'm a member of, and those guys have a huge following, and they really do love racing, man. So been knowing Alexander Meshkov for a long time, and one of the most level-headed guys you'll ever want to meet, that's for sure. And right now having a good run here in P9. Look at this, good battle here. This is Claudio Bardella Jr. and Sean Jacobs. Jacobs in the in the 24 car, the 57 of Claudio Bardella Jr. down on the bottom line. Good side-by-side racing. These guys do a lot of laps together. Side-by-side racing here between the 57 and the 24. The 57, Claudio Bardella Jr. going to pick up P5 as Sean Jacobs falls back to the 6th position. Eugene Zaglago trying to bounce back here. This 33 car. He's a great race car driver as well. He gets around. Kent Thomas, one of our new drivers. And Zaglago. We got a yellow flag here. We got a yellow flag. As somebody indicated there, we're going to be coming down pit lane, and we've got a yellow flag. As Artur Vieira will take the caution flag. Third caution here on lap 41. Let's take a look and see what happened. Zaglago on the, he's down on the apron. Looks like he wanted to pit, and he downshifted and got that car sideways and it spun around. Nobody else involved, but Zaglago had some issues coming onto pit lane. Watch this, and I think he just started a little bit early right here, and I think he downshifted and it broke that car loose right there, and he comes around. Yeah, he downshifted right there, and it broke that car loose, and then he comes around and gets into the wall there a little bit, but it brings out a caution flag. Zaglago now, caution flag on him. Artur Vieira, the race leader. 41 of Paul Brown is in second. Ricardo Almeida is in third. We've had a great battle with these 4 cars up front. Stanislav Pavlov, that 4th car. And now you're going to start adding Claudio Bardella Jr. to the mix. And that is that's going to be a fun battle to watch.
Road will be open this time for lead lap cars.
All right, pit stops underway. Kent Thomas, the race leader. He's staying out here to lead some laps. Want to get some bonus points, get that name in the stat sheet. All right, Thomas out here leading the field. Jair Oliveira says, wants to know if I have 4 colors from a Brazilian flag. I do not have a Brazilian hat, but I'd wear one. I definitely would. Man, our Brazilian drivers here are some of our most loyal drivers, loyal HORL members. I mean, you take a look at Givaldo. That guy shows up 3 times a week, every week for HORL events. And, of course, I've known JJ for a long time, heck of a long time. I think I actually first got him over in the stock cars over here in the United States. And one of our great Brazilian drivers as well. 45, Kent Thomas coming down pit lane. It looks like Ricardo Almeida is going to be the race leader. 41, Paul Brown will start in the 2nd position. The 3rd caution flag of the night. Couple cars out of the race there. Tony Furtado, I think, got a little frustrated there with that early caution flag. I don't even know if he got any damage on that, but he was frustrated there and quit. And then Eugene Zaglotko, that 2nd caution flag for him. Wait a minute. Now, I'm going to have to put this up on the chat session here. But it looks like Mrs. Almeida is here. Ms. Almeida is here. And she says, ban Ricardo. That's her husband because he wins. She's commenting on Will D and Jair Oliveira's conversation there with those guys kidding around. That's funny. I'll tell you what, she's in here cracking the whip, man. She's in here to kick butt and take names. Don't mess with Ms. Almeida. She's got Ricardo's back every single time. Ricardo, one of our great Canadian drivers. He's from Canada, and he is, I believe, Brazilian descent. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but he's a Brazilian but lives in Canada. He and his wife, kids. Well, right now, he's putting the whooping on the field here. He's got this car up front. He's just showing that he can not only drive stock cars or Indy cars, he can also drive some stock cars too. Look at this, Sandro Kelmer. Sandro Kelmer, there's a name from the past. Where's that guy been? Sandro Kelmer bringing us some Deguste burgers. Still waiting on mine. Good to see Sandro Kelmer in here. Known Sandro Kelmer for a long time as well. Love to see him back out on the track here racing with us. We're going to go green this time by. It looks like Ricardo has elected to take the outside line. That puts Paul Brown down on the inside line. Martelli Jr. and Vieira start in the 2nd row. Meshkoff and Jacobs will start in the 3rd row. Notice how Alexander Meshkoff has slowly, methodically gotten that car up front. Right now running in P5. Going to go green this time by for lap 47. think once these guys get through the first about 10 laps with those, things settle down a little bit. But there's a lot of dicing around, and I'm a little worried now that this track is slick. And these guys are going to get really, really racy. Pace car is off. Here we go. Back to green. Oh, Mrs. Almeida says born in Portugal. Okay. There you go. Look at that. Almeida there out to the lead. Used that outside line and that room to get the lead and or get around Paul Brown. Bigelow might have come off the wall there in that 863 car. So a little contact there for Givaldo. Good battle here in the middle of the pack. On board here with Johan Tavares. Running behind the 32. Couple teammates there battling about Johan Tavares and Leon Gadare. 5 car up on the high side there. Paulo Gouveia. These guys dicing around right here. Got to be really careful here when changing these lanes. Got to be really careful here. Now 36 car changing the lanes there pretty abruptly here. You got to be very careful. You got the time you get over there, that guy is in that spot. So these guys get it worked out. Paulo Gouveia running in the 12th position behind the 36 is Johan Tavares. Tavares at 36 car. Side by side here now. Down to the inside. There might be some contact here. You got to be careful. Five car getting that spot, but the 36 now diving back down to the bottom line here to see if he can't pick that spot back up. But the 5 using some muscle to get around. Kent Thomas in this 35 car. He's wanting to try to get around now. That 36 looks like there may be some issues going on there. He is look like having a little trouble handling that car, dicing around here a little bit. Almeida continuing to lead. These guys got it figured out up front here. Long race here. About halfway through. Stanislav Pavlov and John Stanley having a good battle here. Oh! Pavlov comes up there and gets into John Stanley a little bit off the front of his nose. We almost had a huge problem there. Almost had an issue. Gouveia in the 5 car down to the inside. He's going to try to do a slide job on John Stanley. It's almost the way you got to pass here sometimes, but that got a little dicey there. Watch this. Gouveia in the 5 car down to the inside. He's going to get this spot, but he's going to do a slide job on old John Stanley right here. John Stanley, I don't think he's going to take too kindly to that. Gives him a little bit of a shot in the back end. Go back to live here as John Stanley on the outside line at 36. Johan Tavares down on the inside line. Good battle here between the 12 and the 36. This is for the 11th position. 12 of John Stanley. Battling that 36 of Johan Tavares. Tavares in the 36 car down on the bottom line. John Stanley in the 12 picks up that spot, or holds on to that spot, I should say. Get the fight to hold on to that. Made in the 22 car continuing to lead. Opened up a little bit of a gap on P2. Paul Brown in 2nd. Margelli Jr. now in 3rd. Vieira 4th. Sean Jacobs is in 5th. Stanislav Pavlov trying to work his way back to the front. That 62 car. Lost a little bit of time on pit lane. A little bit of positions on pit lane. So he's got some work to do to get this 62 back up front. And he is battling Leon Ganare. Pavlov picking up that spot. Now we got a battle. We got a yellow flag here. Looks like the 5 car, Paulo Gouveia. These guys, man, they just is so aggressive there early in the runs, man. So much dicing around and changing lanes, and get yourself in trouble there. And I see a lot of that going on, especially that crew there mid-pack to back in the back. So take a look and see what happened here. Take a look and see what happened. It looked like the 5 car goes up to the high side and gets into the 12 of John Stanley and slides back across the track. And man. Get out of the front of Kent Thomas's machine. Watch this. You see that contact with the 5 car in the 12, and he comes back across the track. Down in front of John Stanley's, look at John Stanley's view. Try that again. Looking out of the front of a John Stanley's machine. John Stanley is just wondering what's going on here. Tell you what, Kent Thomas did a great job of missing this. On board here with him. Watch this. You see that action right there unfold, and Kent Thomas does a great job moving to the high side and missing the 5 car. Go back here to live. So Ricardo Almeida, the leader. 41 of Paul Brown in second. Arthur Villa third. Claudio Bardelli is in fourth. And a lot of patience could be exercised here. So Ricardo Almeida, the leader. Paul Brown is in second. Guerra third. Bardelli is fourth.
Pit road will be open this time for lead lap cars.
Get some guys coming down pit lane now. So some pit stops underway. Always love this view right here so far back. See what how we handle this pit stop. 117 getting out in front, but tight battle there off pit lane. Some guys making a 2-tire stop. Baldo Spindle, the leader, and I suggest you he's probably just going to come down pit lane there and start in the back, so he's trying to get some bonus points for leading a lap. I'm on to Givaldo. I know what his plan is here in the 63 car.
Pit road will be open this time.
So Givaldo down to the inside. You see what I mean? I know what's going on. 63 coming down pit lane there to take his pit stop. We'll put Artur Vieira back to the front. How about Alexander Meshkov? A two-tire stop gets that car up front. Leon Ganari is in third. Bardelli Jr. fourth. Pavlov is in fifth. Danilo Coelho is in sixth. We haven't really talked about Danilo too much. But he is racing in that 73 car tonight and now has that car up to the sixth position. So it's been a quiet night there for Danilo, but slowly got that car up front, now in P6. .36, Johan Tavares. Not sure what's going on with him right now, but down on the inside here. Looks like he is coming down pit lane. He's going to get a penalty here, it looks like. We're hitting on a closed pit. All right, Artur Vieira has elected to take the inside line. Meshkov is in second. Ganari third. Bardelli Jr. is in fourth. Tavares on pit lane, taking some service here, and he's going to have a penalty when he comes back out on the track. Looks like he's got a penalty, so a break there for Johan Tavares. Not sure what happened to that car. All right, we got a good side-by-side battle here to start lap 60. Alexander Meshkov on the outside line, Artur Vieira on the inside line. Meshkov in that Subway sponsor machine has gotten that car up front. This would be a huge win. Not quite get the start he wanted there as Artur Vieira shoots out there around the race lead. These guys starting to jockey around a little bit. This is what worries me on these restarts. Bardelli Jr. down to the inside. Now jumping back to the high side. Somebody falling off the pace there, it looks like. Leon Ganari drops off the pace at that 32. He lost some positions. Artevieta's out in front where he wants to be. Bardelli Jr. might have made just contact with the wall. Bardelli Jr. in third, and I think there was contact there. Take a look at the 73. Danilo Coelho. 22. Ricardo Almeida on the inside. The 41. Paul Brown on the outside line. Paul Brown using the draft of the 73 car. Looking out of the back of the 73 at Paul Brown, Ricardo Almeida. These guys having a good battle here. They've been around each other all night. This is 5th and 6th. On board with our 4th place car, Danilo Coelho. Stanislav Pavlov and Givaldo Spindola having a battle here, coming off the turn. Spindola in the 63, Pavlov in that 62 car. Good battle there, and Spindola takes over the 9th position. Pavlov now back to 10th. Sean Jacobs and John Stanley here battling it out. Sean Jacobs in the 24 on the inside line, got a little bit of help from the 63. Battling it out with the 12 car. Sean Jacobs looking ahead out in front of his machine at the 41. Paul Brown, Ricardo Almeida's gotten around. We got a little bit of lap traffic here. 46. Lap traffic. Oh, they're going to go 3 wide here. They can get a little dicey with the lap cars. Can get a little dicey here. Trying to make some passes. The 63 dives up there. Oh, it almost takes out the 24 car. 62 in this mix now. Stanislav Pavlov and the 24 of Sean Jacobs battling it out. Talk about a hornet's nest right now. That is a flat-out hornet's nest. Leon Gadare in the 97. Actually running in the 32 car, I believe. 24 Sean Jacobs, the 12 of John Stanley. This is getting wild. Pavlov on the outside line as Sean Jacobs goes down to the bottom line. Pavlov in the 62. 24 backs out as Pavlov using that outside line and that muscle. The room that he needs on the outside to hold on to that spot. Paul Brown in the 41. To roll up on these guys. Artevieta the leader. 117 out where he wants to be, away from the fray. Alexander Meshkov and the 22 of Ricardo Almeida side by side. Here on lap 65. Meshkov giving up that position. Almeida now in third. Meshkov in the 4th position. Stanislav Pavlov now down to the bottom side here, trying to get around Givaldo Spindola. Good side-by-side battle there. As Pavlov picks up that spot. Good pass there. Paul Brown trying to make some moves. Battling Alexander Meshkov. Meshkov down to the inside, the 41. Paul Brown up on the outside line. Paul Brown has the help of the draft from the 73 car. Picks up that spot. Meshkov now back to 6th. Artevieta continuing to lead here in that 117 car. He's exactly where he wants to be, out front and pulling away. He's got a 2nd lead over Claudio Bardelli Jr. Paul Brown now setting his sights on Danilo Coelho. So he used that draft and now trying to get around the 73 car to take over P4. Coelho back to 5, P5. John Stanley in the 12, following Sean Jacobs in the 24. Those guys working together to get around Givaldo Spindola. Spindola now back to the 10th position. Stanley takes over P9. Ricardo Almeida, Claudio Bardelli Jr., Almeida on the move. Bardelli Jr. in the 57 car up on the high side. This is for P2. And Ricardo Almeida now back up to the 2nd position. Setting his sights on Artevieta. Claudio Bardelli Jr. now back to P3. Arthur Vieira, the leader. Ricardo Almeida second, Bardelli Jr. third, Paul Brown fourth, Danilo Coelho is in fifth. Take a look at Ken Thomas here running in the 12th position in that 35 car. Coming over from Happy Hour Racing League to do some racing here at High Octane Racing League. Happy Hour Racing League, one of our closest allies there in the sim racing world. Britt Owen running that outfit, and a great bunch of drivers over there. Really friendly crew. And I appreciate all the work that they do in helping promote sim racing. In rFactor 2, look at this. Stanislav Pavlov and Alexander Meshkov here battling it out. Pavlov in the 62 car. Getting by Meshkov. Oh, not so fast. Meshkov says, hey, I'm going to go back on the high side. Meshkov running out of room. Oh, Meshkov getting into the wall. Meshkov got into the wall there and almost lost that thing. 24 to 62 battling it out. And Meshkov got up in the wall, ran out of room. Let's go back and take a look at that. Look at this, Meshkov drifted up the track, smacking the wall right here, and then comes back across the track, threads the needle into the grass, and John Stanley's life flashed before his eyes. John Stanley just barely missed Alexander Meshkov. Go on board here with John Stanley looking out of the front of his car. Look at that. That Subway car coming across the track, and Stanley makes it through. Holy smokes. Meshkov there trying to bounce back. Let's take a look here as that review that again. Meshkov trying to bounce back there and recover after almost spinning out. Look at this. Pavlov and John Stanley battling it out. Pavlov makes contact with the wall. Pavlov makes contact with the wall. Oh my heavens. These guys getting after it right now. As Arthur Vieira, the leader. Ricardo Almeida starting to close in. Here on lap 72. Johan Tavares coming down pit lane. So Johan Tavares coming down pit lane here on lap 73, and I think he may be serving his penalty. 36 serving his penalty coming down pit lane. Arthur Vieira, the leader. Here on lap 73, we're starting to wind down the laps, and he is extending that lead. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in second. Ricardo Almeida is in third. We'll take a look at that pass. With Claudio Bardelli Jr. and Ricardo Almeida. Almeida up the track a little bit, leaving an opening for Claudio Bardelli Jr. Side by side down the backstretch, and the 57 picking up that spot, taking over P2 as Ricardo Almeida now back to the third position. Paul Brown in this mix too. As Vieira continuing to lead. Bardelli Jr. in second. Almeida now back to the third position. Fourth position is Paul Brown making this pass. Paul Brown in the 41 car, battling the 22 of Ricardo Almeida. Now up to P3. Almeida now back to the fourth position. Take a look at Sean Jacobs in the 62 of Stanislav Pavlov battling it out. Sean Jacobs running in the 7th position. It's starting to, you're starting to think about go time now. A little bit of a slick track. You see a lot of rubber down on the track. Stanislav Pavlov running in the 6th spot. Sean Jacobs in the 7th. Well, I think we're going to start seeing some green flag pit stops here maybe. This is what we want to see. And that gap has diminished. Bardelli Jr. starting to close in on Vieira. 0.3 of a second now between the two of those guys. Paul Brown in 3rd. Almeida is in the 4th position. Now, Ricardo Almeida has faded just a little bit on this long run. I don't know if that was a 2-tire stop and what the situation was for the 22. But now starting to fall back a little bit. Paul Brown and Claudio Bardelli Jr. both making pit stops here. Actually, Artur Vieira making a pit stop as Artur Vieira and Paul Brown making pit stops here on lap 78. Bardelli Jr. now the race leader in the 57 car. So pit stops underway. Vieira, Brown, Coelho, Ganari all on pit lane. So pit stops underway. Bardelli Jr. looks like he's going to be coming down pit lane. So our race leader making a pit stop. Almeida also on pit lane in the 22 car. Sean Jacobs on pit lane, so a lot of pit stops going on here. As Bardelli Jr. giving up the race lead, I would assume, to come down pit lane. So lots of pit stops happening here. Vieira and Brown now back out on the track after making pit stops. Take a look at our side-by-side view here as Ricardo Almeida on pit lane. Finishing up his fuel load and tires, coming back out on track. Now shown in the 4th position. Vieira leading. Brown in 2nd. Bardelli Jr. 3rd. Almeida is 4th. Pavlov rounding out the top 5. Good green flag pit stops here. 0.2 of a second separate Vieira and Brown. Valdo Spindle indicating he's got a drive-through penalty. Speeding on pit lane. Devastating penalty here late in the race for the 63 car. Like a 2-car battle here for the lead, as these guys have a pretty substantial lead over Claudio Bardelli Jr. And I would suggest to you that maybe these guys did a 2-tire stop. Across the start-finish line, we'll have 20 laps to go. This is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see green flag pit stops. 20 laps to go. Artur Vieira the leader. Paul Brown in 2nd. See Artur Vieira, Givaldo Spindler finishing up his pit stop here. Coming around on the apron and rejoin the racing surface. He's now in the 12th position, 1 lap down. He's in the lucky dog position. Vieira there opening up a little bit of a lead on Paul Brown, about a half a second. Got to ask yourself, is Paul Brown saving tires, saving fuel? Expecting a long run here. So we're getting some word that there may be some more pit stops needed. They are not going to be able to make it to the end, I don't think. They might be short on fuel. This could be a splash and dash here to determine the winner. Assuming we stay green. Everybody sort of figured it out here. Look at this. Danilo Coelho and John Stanley battling it out. John Stanley now in the 7th position. Danilo in 8th. Good battle between the two of those guys. Good clean racing right there. Leon Ganare and Alexander Meshkov racing for the 10th position. Leon down to the inside as Meshkov in the 77 up on the outside line. Subway sponsor machine. Johan Tavares down to the inside. Looks like he's going to be coming down pit lane. So Johan Tavares in the 36 car making a pit stop. You see the race leaders going by. Archivieta continuing to open up a little bit of a lead there, half a second. These guys have got a huge lead on the field, 6-second lead over P3. P3 and 4, pretty tight battle here as we've got Claudio Bardelli Jr. and Ricardo Almeida. Almeida down to the inside. A little bit of a slide job right there from Almeida. Picking up that spot. Is Claudio Bardelli Jr. going to tuck in? Is he going to try to get that spot back? Looks like he tucks in. Now in the 4th position as Almeida now in 3rd. Almeida now setting his sights on that front two. Time's running out, 7 seconds down, but we know these guys have to make another pit stop. Some of these guys do. Some of the guys may not have to do another pit stop. This could be a pit strategy race, fuel mileage race. Vieta continuing to open up that lead over Paul Brown. Stanislav Pavlov in the 5th position, kind of out there by himself right now. He could be in the catbird seat, really. He pitted a little bit later. He may have enough fuel to make it to the end. The 62 car running in P5. 9.5 seconds off the race lead. He's got 1.2 seconds to P4. Sean Jacobs running in the 6th position in that 24 car. He and P5, about 4 seconds separate the two of those guys. He's got a little work to do to catch up to P5. Paul Brown starting to push the issue here a little bit. Maybe saving those tires, now starting to close in on Archivieta. On board here with Paul Brown running in P2. See Archivieta, the race leader, just ahead. Paul Brown indicating he may not have enough fuel to make it to the end. Stanislav Pavlov, the 62 car. Claudio Bardelli Jr. may be on fuel save strategy in that 57 car, giving up the spot to 62 now in P4. Bardelli Jr. now back to 5th. So Stanislav making some moves. He kind of held back there for a little bit, but now stepping on the gas here and picking up some spots, running away from Bardelli Jr. So keep your eye on Stanislav Pavlov. Paul Brown on pit lane. Taking a splash here. Paul Brown having a pit. Sean Jacobs on pit lane. Archivieta still out there on track. Paul Brown finishing up that pit stop. Now coming back out on track. He is in the 9th position. So he had to pit for a little bit of fuel. Decided to do it a little bit earlier in the run. Now back out on track. Fuel mileage race. Just ahead of the race leader, Archivieta. Almeida 8 seconds back in the 2nd position. Pavlov is in 3rd. Bardelli Jr. in the 4th position. Rounding out the top 5 is Danilo Coelho. Take a look at him running in P5. John Stanley now in 6th. Keep your eye on that 12 car. He has slowly worked that car up to closing in on the top 5. He's had a tough night, a busy night here for John Stanley. A lot of rubber down on this track. Got to be very careful. It is slick. Alexander Meshkov in the 77 car. Now in the 8th position. Paul Brown back down to the inside, so I'm not sure whether he's got to come back down pit lane or what the deal is there with him. Might have got a drive-through penalty. Artefiera here with 9 laps to go. The leader. Almeida is in second. Pavlov in third. We got a good battle for P2, P3 between Pavlov and Almeida. Almeida down to the inside, however. Almeida dipping down to the pit lane. So Ricardo Almeida making a pit stop in that 22 car. Ricardo Almeida in the 22 making a pit stop here late in the race. Artefiera continuing to lead. I got to be thinking that Almeida's got to come down pit lane. Almeida on pit lane here taking service. Vieira the leader. Stanislav Pavlov now in second as we see Ricardo Almeida finishing up that pit stop, coming back out on track. Take a look at Stanislav Pavlov in the second position. 10-second gap separates, about 11-second gap separates he and P1. Now, I think he was saving fuel early on in this run, so we'll have to see. Vieira, no indication that he was saving any fuel. Paul Brown now picking up P7 as Ricardo Almeida was on pit lane. We're on lap 94. Artefiera now coming down pit lane. The 117 car making a pit stop. Our race leader. Pavlov, is he going to be making a pit stop? So Pavlov's going to pick up the race lead here, I believe, as Artefiera on pit lane to make a splash. Could be a huge pit stop for Artefiera. Splash of fuel for him. He is on pit lane as Stanislav Pavlov now the leader. Vieira now back to fifth, the 117 car. Did he stay out too long? That pit stop took forever. Now Pavlov in the 62 car. Does he have enough fuel to make it to the end? Vieira now coming back out on track. Uh-oh, somebody spun and we got a caution flag. We have a caution flag. Oh my heavens. Almeida had just gotten lapped, so he's going to be in a lucky dog position. We have got a caution flag. Stanislav Pavlov, the leader. Go on, Taveras off the pace there, and looks like he may be in trouble. I'm not sure. So late race caution. Let's see what happened. This Johan Taveras, man, he got crazy loose there. I think he races with a controller. Oh, man, a 35 car slamming the wall. See, look at this right here. I don't know what the deal is with this, but he had some trouble with his controller. And watch this, the 35 car slipping through. He makes some contact with the wall, I believe. Holy smokes. Kent Thomas on board here with him. Watch this. He is going to barely miss. 36 car does a good job getting up to the high side, and then he has to get into the wall to avoid. Man. I'm not sure what happened there. It just looked like some controller issues. And then, man, this is a wild near miss for the 35. He does get into the wall, but my heavens, man. Paul Brown was looking at this too. We're on board here with Paul Brown. Watch this. To follow that green card, that 35. As Paul Brown gets by. A yellow flag coming out. Wowza. Untimely caution flag. Untimely caution flag, and Pavlov did not want to see that caution flag, I can tell you that. Claudio Bartelli Jr. is shown in second, the 57 car. Danilo Coelho is in third. John Stanley shown in fourth. Paul Brown is in fifth. That actually may end up benefiting him. I think he was probably not in a good position, but now that's actually benefited him, I believe. Pavlov, I've got to be wondering, now he's going to come down pit lane here. He's going to give up track position and come down pit lane. We've got some guys making pit stops here under this caution flag that have given up some track position. 117 also. Oh, he missed his pit stall. He had to back up. You see Pavlov coming back out on track. Also the 57, Bartelli Jr., 41, Paul Brown. There's Beshkov. Danilo Coelho as well, the 73 car, and then John Stanley in the 12. And you see the 117 had some trouble. Artevieta had some trouble there on pit lane. He's coming back out on track now. Well, the race leader is, this is going to make Mrs. Almeida happy. That's Ricardo Almeida. Stanislav Pavlov now in second, but we got a bunch of wave-around cars, it looks like, or at least a couple wave-around cars. Almeida is the leader in the 22. We got a green-white checker underway, I believe. We got a green-white checker headed your way here. Race number 2 of the season. Guys coming down pit lane here for a dash of fuel. Thomas in the 35. Can't help but thinking that he's got some right side damage. He probably got that repaired, but did a great job of avoiding that accident. 22, Sean Jacobs is on the tail end of the field. He and 32, Leon Ganare, are going to get wave arounds. So green-white checker here at California. We've had a pretty good race here, and this second half of the race has been a pretty solid race, man. We had some green flag pit stops, some strategy playing out, and then we had that untimely caution flag here at the end. And unfortunately, Johan Tavares retiring his machine. Eshkoff here, looks like some situation happened with him. He may get disconnected. Stanislav Pavlov is, where's Ricardo? Did he come down pit lane? Where's Ricardo? He's on pit lane. Ricardo's on pit lane. We missed that there. We were talking Ricardo on pit lane here in the 22. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 62. 62 is now going to be the leader as the 57, Claudio Bardelli Jr. in second, 41, Paul Brown third, Danilo Coelho in fourth. And we've got a green-white checker, and Ricardo Almeida had to come down pit lane. Not sure why. But that certainly changes things there. Maybe he needed fuel. I'm not sure. Not sure what the situation there was, but that was a bummer. Here with a green-white checker, he had to go down pit lane. All right, here we go. Green-white checker here, the 62, Stanislav Pavlov will lead the field to take the green flag. The 57, Claudio Bardelli Jr. will start second. 41, Paul Brown starts in the third position. The 73, Danilo Coelho starts in fourth. The green-white checker here at California.
Green flag, go, go, go.
As we're a little bit behind, we're going to watch this start here. All right, back to green. Stanislav gets a good start. Bardelli Jr. trying to squeeze in there. No room. Take a look at the 22 trying to work his way back to the front. He has got no time. Dicing around there for the lead as the 62 out to the front. Paul Brown in second. Bardelli Jr. third. Danilo Coelho in fourth. Bardelli Jr. and Coelho, they're battling it out. Last lap here for the 62 car. Down the backstretch. Can he hold off a charge by the 41? The 41 might have made contact with the wall. Stanislav Pavlov. Can he hold on? He's got 0.3 of a second lead over the 41 car. 2 turns to go for the 62. They're battling for P4 behind. 62, Stanislav Pavlov is going to take the winner, the race win here at California. And they're wrecking back behind. Stanislav Pavlov getting a big win in the 62 car. Congratulations to Stanislav Pavlov. He needs a TurnLeftTV logo on that car. So congratulations to Stanislav Pavlov. Great race for him tonight. Paul Brown finished second, Coelho third, Vieira fourth, Bardelli Jr. fifth. Wow, what a interesting end to that race. Take a look at the session results as Stanislav Pavlov gets the win. What a great race there for Stanislav. Did everything he needed to do to get this car up front and in victory lane. Paul Brown finishes in the second position. Danilo Coelho finishes in third. As he does his burnout. Stanislav Pavlov gets the race win. See, Artur Vieira finishes fourth, Bardelli Jr. fifth, John Stanley finishes in the sixth position, Ricardo Almeida seventh. Tough break there for Ricardo with that late pit stop. Leon Ganari finishes in the eighth position, Sean Jacobs ninth, and Kent Thomas rounding out the top 10. Finishing in the 11th position is Givaldo Spindola. Paulo Gouveia finishes in 12th. Alexander Meshkov 13th. Connection issue there for him. Johan Tavares finishes in 14th. Eugene Zaglatko 15th, and Tony Furtado finishes in the 16th position. So congratulations to Stanislav Pavlov on the win. So a great job to Stanislav Pavlov and getting a well-deserved win here at California. We'll see if we can't have an interview with him. We'll pull him up here in the booth with us. All right, congratulations, Stanislav Pavlov, on the win here at California.
Thank you. Hello.
Well, the race came down to pit strategy, and talk about how that strategy worked out in your favor.
I'm trying to save my tires and fuel, but in the end of the race, I see I don't have only 3 laps, and caution helped me.
You had a great battle with Paul Brown, Claudio Bardelli Jr., Artur Vieira, and Ricardo Almeida all race long. How fun was that to race around those guys, and very clean racing between the 4 of you?
Oh, it's a very hard race with guys. I have little contact, little bit with them, but all time we. Sorry.
No problem.
But all time we go to the next laps and very hard struggle.
Well, the next race is Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and a lot of guys really like that track. How do you feel about your chances to win at Las Vegas next week?
Oh, next week I must leave my town and come back to you at 1 week ago.
Gotcha. Okay, well, hey, congratulations, Stanislav. Great race. Good to see that great-looking paint scheme, that skin, the 62 car in victory lane. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Right, that is Stanislav Pavlov, and he does a great job there in the interview, man. Really calm guy, but, we really have to rely on the guys being able to speak English, and he does a great job, and very nice driver, one of our great Russian drivers here participating with us in High Octane Racing League. So always appreciate, the guys that really, Alexander Meshkov brings a lot of guys over here, and he had a tough break there tonight. Alexander did, but nonetheless, those guys do a great job. Eugene Zaglotko had a little bit of a tough break here tonight as well. But nonetheless, great race. It ended up being a great race. We had a few caution flags early on, but that second half of that race got really interesting. And California, tough track, especially when it got slicker. I think the racing got better. Well, a little bit later, we got some more racing headed your way. It's California Speedway, race number 4 of the season, the Saturday Night Thunder. California, great track, of course, and now we're going to get the Cup cars out there and mix it up. And I'm going to get out on the track. If you want to beat up the broadcaster, come on out and join us. We'd love to have you. So 100-lap race, 110-lap race from California Speedway. Race number 4 of the season headed your way in just a little while. Come on out and join us. I want to say, hey, thanks so much for coming in and joining me on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you being here tonight and supporting TurnLeftTV. Please share my videos with all your friends. Hit that thumbs up button. Peace to everybody out there. And don't forget to click on those links down in the description of this race and follow them over to the Fanatec website. Congratulations to Stanislav Pavlov. We're going to get out of here and get some lunch for the big race. We'll see you next week at Vegas. Thanks for tuning in. I'm out of here.